Today we're going to talk about clowning. Last Saturday, my husband and I went to the National Theater to watch a talk given by a professional clown. And yes, you heard that right. And today I want to tell you exactly why it was one of the most moving and inspiring talks that I've seen in a while. If we haven't met yet, my name is Isabel, and on this channel we talk all about embracing your weird in order to build a better brand, business, and life. And what better way to embrace your weird than being a professional clown? Like, let's be honest. It's a thing, right? Let me give you a little bit of context. The person who gave the talk is named Wendy Ramos. She is a professional clown. She's also an actress. She's an author. She's a speaker, of course. She became well known through TV. She had a show. All of the actors in the show were clowns, and it was called Pata Clown, and it was very famous here in Peru. And that's how she kind of rose to stardom. But then she started an organization called Bola Roja, which is an initiative that brought clowns into hospitals and underserved communities. Here in Peru, definitely, I believe there was also some international things, but I'm not sure. But she even worked with Patch Adams at once, like the real Patch Adams at one point. She's published 3 books, 4th one on the way, and she's just a beautifully weird human. So like it's a very on point thing to talk about her. She calls herself vaca descarriada, or like a stray cow, 'cause she basically never followed any rules that society set for her. And honestly, I'm just in awe of her ability to let curiosity lead the way and constantly reinvent herself again and again and again. Her most recent talk, because this is the second one that we've been to, was called Amar Lo Que Eres, or Loving Who You Are. And yeah, just here are the 3 most powerful lessons I learned from that talk. Lesson number 1, learn to sit in silence. Now, most of us hate silence, myself included. My brain never shuts up, and so outward noise helps my brain feel less noisy. But in general, people hate silence. Silence is uncomfortable. It makes us uncomfortable. It's just us and our thoughts and nothing else. And it feels empty, but Wendy reminded us that silence isn't empty. It is actually full of you. And that hit hard because what better way to learn to know yourself than to sit in that silence and see what comes up? Because your silence is full of you. There's nothing else it can be filled with. And it's through silence and slowing down that we can really hear ourselves, and we can really then listen to ourselves and get to know ourselves. And as someone who tends to fill every single second with noise or doing or fixing, yeah, that one hit a little hard. But hey, in a good way. Lesson number 2 is to choose your circle carefully. And Wendy told the story of these 2 little frogs, and actually it was a really funny coincidence that I was wearing my frog ring, which I'll put a picture up here so you can see it. It's the best, while she was telling the story. But anyways, she told the story of these 2 little frogs that fell in a deep, 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 deep hole, and they couldn't get out, and they jumped and they jumped and they were trying to escape, and they kept jumping and they kept jumping. But it was no use because the hole was too deep and they couldn't jump that high. And their frog friends from above the hole, right, like looking down, started shouting, "You'll never make it, just give up. Like, you're not gonna make it, it's too high." And eventually one of the frogs listened and stopped trying and died. And the other frog kept trying and jumping and kept jumping and kept jumping, and all through nightfall. And eventually he jumped so high that he got out. And his friends were like, "What? How did you do it? That's amazing. That's so awesome. How did you do it?" And the little frog said, "Thanks for cheering me on." The little frog was deaf and couldn't hear what they were actually saying. All he saw was his friends from above going like this. And while they were telling him to give up, he didn't know that. He thought that they were cheering him on. And so he kept going. And we're surrounded sometimes by a lot of people who doubt our dreams and who doubt our goals and how far we can go. And so they tell us like, "Oh, it's not worth it, give up. It's not, Like, why are you making that effort? And we can't listen to them, right? We got to be a little bit deaf like that little frog and not listen to them, because the first little frog, the one who could listen to them, gave up. And we are impacted by our social circle. So if you can choose people that aren't that way, all the better. But if there are people in your life that you don't want to remove from your life, that are these, negative Nancy's is a way that people call them. And I'm sorry to all the Nancy's who are watching this. Try not to listen to them. Try to be a deaf little frog. Lesson number 3 is that you still have time, and you are right on time. We tend to rush because society has taught us that we have to try to get to our goal as fast as possible. We're rushing to figure things out. We're rushing to succeed. We're rushing to get this thing done so that we can get started on the next thing. And then we're rushing to get that thing done so we can get started on the next thing. And we're rushing to feel better and do better and be better. And rushing kills joy. When we are so focused on getting to the outcome as fast as possible, we tend to forget to enjoy the journey. Wendy said something that really stuck with me, and I'll put it up here on the screen, but she said, "You are not too late. You are not too early. As long as you're alive, you are right on time." Or you still have time. I don't remember exactly how she said it. But anyways, isn't that beautiful? We're not behind. We are on our way. And it doesn't matter how fast or how slow someone else got to that goal. We all have our own timeline of growth, right? We all grow at different paces and in different ways. Someone might get to something faster than you, but then you might get something faster than that person, right? Don't rush it, and realize that you still have time and you're right on time, and no one is rushing you except yourself. So those are the 3 lessons: silence, circle, and being on time. I would love to know in the comments which one stuck with you the most. All of them really hit hard for me, and there were, of course, a lot more in talk, but these were like the 3 most powerful ones for me. But I think the one that hit me the most was the silence one, because I truly do not like silence. I don't like it at all. And through these lessons and the many others that she mentioned in her talk, Wendy took us on the path of hearing one overall message, which is to love ourselves more than we love other people, or better than we love other people. Because she mentioned that a lot of times we're better at loving others than we are about loving ourselves, right? She gave the example of how with her ex-husband, when they were married, she used to cook these extravagant meals and set the table and, put candles and placemats and all the things to make it, beautiful place setting and a beautiful dinner, like with like little cilantro leaves on top of the thing, like all the stuff, right? But when he was out working or something for herself, she could eat anything. She would just pull something from the fridge, eat it cold, or grab something like as she was walking out the door. And if that's you, you need to know that you also deserve the placemats and the fancy meals, even if you're doing it just for yourself, right? If you're the kind of person who holds space and is patient when someone else makes a mistake, but then you're berating yourself immediately when you do and you have no patience for it, you need to know that you also deserve the patience and the space. You deserve your own love, your own care. You deserve to love yourself as much as you love others. So yeah, love yourself, care for yourself. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. I make new ones like it every single Friday. And until then, stay wild, stay weird, love yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.